going on, everyone? What a great day to see you on this channel. I'm Ezra. This is Seaway Vlogs. Today we're going to talk about how the challenges of COVID-19 gave birth to a new group in the maritime industry. So as you can all remember, last March 2020 was the first time that the Philippine government had declared a lockdown in our country. Everyone was asked to stay home. All businesses were paused. But the real question is, what happened to the maritime industry during that implementation of lockdown?
Land, domestic air and domestic sea travel to and from Metro Manila shall be suspended beginning March 15, 2020 and to end on April 14, 2020.
The Seaway magazine is published by Seagate Maritime Media Incorporated every month. It is the longest-running maritime news magazine in the country. It features updates and recent policy decisions affecting Filipino seafarers and the maritime sector.
Businesses, this multi-billion-dollar manning business was forced to pause their operations, which had greatly affected the crewing community. But not to get all negative, thanks to the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, the government had finally stepped in to help the seafarers in this matter. So this is where the IATF finally steps in, or yung interagency task force na na-assign ng government as a response to the pandemic is yung implementation nila ng health protocols. So ano ba yung nagpa-complicate dito sa situation? So as per Ms. Christina Garcia of Blue Ocean Marine and Offshore Solutions stated,
we felt that the dissemination of information was just confined to the existing members of the manning organizations.
Moreover, sometime in April, nag-release ng circular yung Overseas Workers Welfare Administration saying na sila yung mag-shoulder ng expenses ng land-based OFWs while sa manning agencies naman yung sea-based sectors. Pero ano yung nagpadagdag sa problem? So, the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration mandates the manning agencies to expand or extend their obligations to seafarers. But since the Department of Labor and Employment mandates the manning agencies to shoulder the expenses of repatriating seafarers as they undergo quarantine, they have said that it can possibly lead them to bankruptcy. So at this point, some agencies had finally stepped forward to come together and rally against the government policies that would result to serious harm in their sector. They sent appeal letters to the Congress, LGUs, stating the negative impacts of the said policies. Some of the negative impacts they stated includes the business closure of some agencies that can no longer sustain their operations financially, as well as training centers, medical clinics, and those that offer services or support to the crewing community. So those that I've mentioned are enough reasons for these established manning agencies to be more vocal about their concerns. And this is where we get to the real thing. So the Association of Licensed Manning Agencies have thought of Marina or the Maritime Industry Authority's involvement regarding their agenda. Astonishing how it all started with a group chat. So Vice Admiral Robert Emperadad was the first to be the members who reached out to the other crewing community regarding this agenda. So he thought about the involvement of the other LMAs that weren't consulted during the implementation of the quarantine.
On the other hand, President Christina Garcia of Blue Ocean Marine and Offshore Solutions stated that they have collaborated with Marina, Department of Transportation, Department of Foreign Affairs, and other attached government agencies. You can say that it took a lot of effort and cooperation from each and everyone involved in this matter for this to kickstart. Finally, we can now run down the list of what the groups that collaborated had finally achieved, starting off with the Green Lane.
travel of seafarers subject to the health protocols implemented by the government. So, according to statistics, an estimation of 500,000 seafarers, or to be specific, 150,000 needed immediate repatriation. So 250 of them are overdue to their contract. And since this green lane happened or na-adopt na yung green lane dito sa bansa natin, it can now ease up the crew change crisis since it also opened ports in Bataan, Subic, Batangas, Davao, and Cebu. This leads us to another breakthrough, which is the government finally agreeing to shoulder the expenses of the seafarers, and as well as the declaration of the seafarers to be an essential workers in our country. They have agreed to shoulder the expenses of hotel accommodations, food, and transportation of those returning OFWs, and as well as acknowledging the additional funds from the Congress to finance the RT-PCR testing of both returning and deploying seafarers in the maritime industry.
Having that said, there's no doubt that this new group has achieved something in a short span of time, although they do not claim all the credit for these gains. But what's important is that they have contributed such a big impact in the industry, especially to the seafarers who have been greatly affected by the pandemic. Miss Garcia, who came from a seafaring family and has been an executive for over 2 decades in different manning firms, has emerged as president of the new group. She is joined by Mr. Jesse Martin of Anglo-Eastern Corporation as treasurer, with attorney Iris Bagilat of Dole Seafront as secretary of the group. Making up the rest of group's board of trustees are Captain Jose Remo Librodo of Next Wave Maritime Management, Mr. Sergio Sarno of PTC Holdings Corporation, Mr. Nathaniel Dohilio of TSM Philippines, Captain Romel Salinas of Hartman Crew Philippines, and Captain Gregory Sevilla of Avior Marine Incorporated.
And that is it. Thank you for watching. I hope you find this video illuminating. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on our next vlog.